2K26 might be playing a dangerous game right now. And it's not about what they added this year. It's about what they haven't fixed. From defense being almost impossible to play, crazy shot making, 7-4 builds running crazy. I mean, if these issues aren't addressed, the more dangerous it might get for the community. The first thing we're going to talk about today is, of course, the defense. Being a defender as myself, of course, you have some desires and some wants that you would like to do on defense that the game really doesn't prohibit or allow you to do. I shouldn't say prohibit, but they don't allow you to do it. The game prohibits you from doing it. Now, it's much more difficult to stay in front of the ball this year, strictly because there's some type of mechanic or something to where your player just stops moving. Like, he just doesn't move. And you can body up people, but there's only a short amount of time you can body them up before your player enters that sliding stuck animation, and then the offensive player gets to get by you or get up. Now, in some of my breakdown videos, I'll have examples of guarding the same thing multiple times just for them to finally get it off because they just don't let your player move. And of course, there's the offensive players who think defense isn't an issue. And I mean, it makes sense. If you're an offensive player who lacks defensive skill, of course, you would say the game is perfect, don't touch it. But anybody who plays defense, who likes to play defense, who even their whole purpose of playing this game, their role is to play defense, isn't enjoying playing defense, then that's a group of people who will stop playing the game eventually. The one thing about the defense and offense debate that goes on is offensive players are already at a massive advantage. From badges to shots to bases to moves that they can chain together to speed burst or speed boost to creating separation. I mean, they can literally do everything with any height now, any height. But for defenders, you don't have much to combat that. Challenger is not going to combat Deadeye and set shot specialist and shifty shooter and mini marksman for the smaller guards. Like, that's four shooting badges right there that you expect one to be able to counteract. It's not going to happen. On-ball menace, I mean, what it says that it does and what it actually does, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't. Immovable forcer, I mean, it sounds good. The premise of it was good, especially last year. This year, not so much. Pick dodger, I don't even know why that's in the game, honestly. I really don't. And so the point I'm making is that offense has a very high advantage over the defense. And I think 2K's issue is, and it always has been for the most part, is that there's no counter. There's really no counter, and I get it. People like to say good offense beats a good defense. And it's true. But some of y'all aren't that good offensively to even say that. You get what I'm saying? Some of y'all aren't that good offensively. Some of y'all just abuse what the game allows you to do, in a sense, to where not even the best defender can stop it. Prime example this year, 7-4, and the contest system being so lackluster that shots go in. And so 7-4s think that they're good because they're making a high clip of shots, but you're 7-4. There's no counter to it. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why a 7-footer, 7-1, even 6'11" player puts his hands up or jumps, and in this case, at a 7'4", and the contest does not pop. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why a 6'9" player is just flat out shooting over a 6'7" player. There's a 2 height difference. If you are 6 foot and you playing against somebody who's 6'2", yes, you might be taller, but that person don't have that much of an advantage over you, not to be making the shots that they make in 2K right now. But nonetheless, defense and offense is going to always be a debate that never ends. But then another core issue with the game is the shot making. Now, I don't know if y'all watch NBA 2K Toots, YouTuber, but he explained in one of his videos about the contest systems is that the contest system in this year is the exact same range as it was last year. The only thing is that 2K26 has opened the green window and made it to where contested shots have a much higher shot or chance of falling than they did in the previous year. So watching that video, I learned it's not the defense per se, it's the green window. It's 2K opening up the green window to where contested shots still reign supreme per se. But even now, with that contest system being so high, you have people fading, step backs, deep threes. I mean, there is not a shot on the court that's a bad shot anymore. There's not one shot that can be shot in 2K26 that is considered a bad shot anymore, because the game has now programmed us to shoot bad shots. And the issue with that is, for those of you who are not realizing that you're being programmed, when the game switches, when they do address the gameplay, and you're accustomed to making these type of shots or shooting these type of shots with no repercussions of the shots that you're shooting, the game is going to become trash to you, because you thrived off of doing something that was clearly broken or unaddressed. Then it's addressed or fixed, and now your game is gone. Then we have the 7-4 problem. I've seen videos, seen tweets, seen clips, have not experienced it much myself, but it doesn't surprise me to hear, to see that 7'4" are running supreme, where teams are now having multiple 7'4" people on their team. But the clips that I've seen with 7'4" being able to dribble, step back threes, fadeaway threes, can't get contested. The only thing that could contest them is a 7'4", who then won't be able to stay in front of them horizontally while you're dribbling left or right and speed boosting with your 7'4". The 7'4" that can only contest you can't really stay in front of you. So, of course, there's going to see a surge in 7'4s being made. But 2K, that's what they designed it for. That's why they allowed you to make a 7'4". And everybody's going to point to Wemby, or is going to point to Kevin Durant and say, well, these are the players that do it. And then they always hang their hat on. People who hang their hat on those things, they always say the same thing. It's a video game. If I wanted to play real life basketball, I would go outside and play real life basketball. But it's a video game, so I want to make the player I want to make. And I want to do the things that I want to do. Some people believe that there shouldn't be any caps to a video game. And you're right. There shouldn't be any caps to it. What it should be, though, is a filter. And by a filter, I mean you can play uncapped all you want. I encourage you to play the game how you want to play it. No longer going to fight that fact. But I would like to call on the Take-Two company, or 2K Interactive, to have modes or ways to remove some of the gimmicks and the buffoonery that you allow. Now, we all experience what 2K does do when it comes to real competition, as far as they restrict a lot of things, from badges to builds to attributes. They restrict a lot of things, which in turn determined skill. But I feel like as a consumer, as a player, you should always have the ability to not experience things that you don't want to experience. You get what I'm saying? A short example of that would be Rec Pro-Am Proving Grounds Park Starting 5. These are all modes that allow you to experience the game in a different speed, different difficulty, different element, all that type of stuff. And you get to choose. But the reason why all these modes end up getting plagued by the same disease is because everyone is free to go everywhere. So you can't really avoid it. Starting 5 players, for instance, I see that starting 5 players are now experiencing the 7-4 surge. Now, as somebody who may like starting 5, how is it fair for you that you are playing a mode where you don't want to play with teammates, you just want to play with an NBA team against one other guy in an NBA team, and now you're playing against something that was birthed in a mode that you didn't play, and now it has trickled into your mode? You get what I'm saying? Or in a better sense, some people buy 2K just to play career mode. And 2K opened up the door to allow build specializations to be able to achieve their specializations through career in a manner that was intended. But then the online people decided to go into career and spam and abuse these things to get these build specializations, which now 2K had to go on there, shut down the ability to get things through your build specialization through career to fix whatever needed to be fixed. And now they opened it back up. But now the people who just play career are now impacted by something that somebody else did. So when I say that there should be restrictions in the game, I mean that certain things just shouldn't be allowed in certain places. Why these issues can become dangerous is because 2K does have a history of taking too long to fix these issues. Whether they fix it by season, whether they fix it by game, they essentially take too long and people stop playing. Part of the reason why 2K has developed this lifetime challenges, these things like that, are because they're trying to retain players. I'm sure 2K numbers will show, that's why they probably stopped showing numbers as much, but I'm sure their numbers will show that people fall off of this game very quickly and they stay away long. Then they try to come back a little bit, midway through the NBA season or something where that basketball bug bites, but they don't retain a lot of players. Quite frankly, they retain the same type of players, but they try to tap into these challenges, these goals, these things that can keep players staying and coming back. But I think more players in this community are sim oriented or sim like. I think that the arcadic community, the people who like the arcade aspect of 2K, I think they're just louder than the numbers. I do. I think they're just louder. They make more clips. They're much more out there. They're much more known. But I think the core player base, the foundation of 2K, are sim/old heads who still play now online, my GM, even, if you go and look, if you open up the little download area of 2K where you can download player DNAs or download playbooks or download rosters and things like that, it'd be millions of people downloading them rosters. Millions. Do you really believe millions of people are downloading a roster to play online? I think there's millions that play 2K, but thousands that are actually online. And the thousands that are online are making the most amount of noise, and that's who 2K listens to, is the few. So by saying that, technically 2K listens to the minority, not the majority. But nonetheless though, 2K is kind of in a prime position because there's nowhere you can really go to play any basketball games outside of 2K. Yes, you can go play NBA Live 19, but that's it. You can't play any modern basketball game that is not 2K. So they're in a prime position, so they don't have to listen to anybody, really. 2K can do whatever they please to do, and people gonna play it anyway, because what else you gonna do? But why it's dangerous is because there are other games that are starting to come out that will slowly pick at your fan base, at your crowd. Particularly as of next year, we all know GTA 6 is coming out. Yes, it's made under the same umbrella, but people will stop playing this game. 2K26 will get pushed to the back if things aren't addressed. And I think being part of the community deemed old head, if you just gave players similar to me just the ability to be able to combat some of the things going on out here right now, I think 2K26 would be a good game, or a better game, I should say, because the game's not necessarily bad, but I've never really thought 2Ks have been bad. I always thought 2Ks have, well, outside of 18 and maybe 21 next gen, but outside of that, I don't buy the notion that 2K is a bad game and they make bad games. I just think that people's patience is thinner than it once was, and then the community is much more toxic now than it ever was. Was it toxic 10 years ago? Yes, but your patience was greater then, you were younger then, and you probably were the toxic group. You probably were part of the toxic group. Now, you don't have patience to get on this game, or you don't even have the time. You might have grown up now, got you a job, got you a girlfriend, maybe have some kids, and so your time isn't as available as it once was. And so you just kind of outgrow 2K. And in terms of outgrowing, you're still not bad. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't suck at the game. So now you're in this boat where the game deems that you're good. So the game puts you up against people who may not necessarily be in the same boat as you. People who have more time, more space, more opportunity. And so now you're being penalized to where every time you load up this game after your day of work or your 2 hours of free time throughout the course of your day, you got to play Sweaty Betty, Sweaty Jerome, which in turn pushes you away. When you get on the game after a long day, those are the elements you have to deal with. You have to deal with all the elements that we discussed in this video. But then 2K is trying to preach and promote player retention. I think it's a dangerous game. I do think it's a dangerous game. And I think that I wish, and I guess it's wishful thinking because you can't think because 2K gonna do what they want to do anyway. And we just have to either accept it or move on. But I feel as though that if 2K actually looked at and approached everyone and actually played their own game. I don't believe the developers play their own game. I believe that the spokespeople of 2K play it, but I think the people who actually develop the game, who sit there and do all that hard work, quote unquote, I don't think they'll play their game, because if they did play their game, they wouldn't need to listen to the community to know what's wrong, to figure out what's wrong. Just play it. Just play it. You'll see what's wrong. You'll see what you need to fix. It's kind of like us with animations. You think an animation is good. What happens? You go play it in the game, that animation ain't that good. What's next? Gotta change the animation. If they did that, if they approach 2K the way that we approach our players, we might have a better game. But instead, they do what we do as well. We don't play it for ourselves. We don't use it for ourselves. We don't figure it out ourselves. We load up the game, then we listen to the discourse around the game, and then fix it based off the discourse that we see. Or I believe that they see clips from people and then fix it off the clips that they see, without the context behind the clips. But if you just played your game, just play it. 1 8-hour day, play it, where you can probably go from black plate to gold to Hall of Fame plate. If you just played your game for about 8 hours, you would notice and you would see a common denominator in things that need to be addressed. Then you would address those things. Then you play your game again and you address the next problems. And then over time, you might have a game that needs a little bit of tweaking, not full tweaking. But I guess this is all wishful thinking. And so hopefully the things addressed in this video get addressed by 2K. And I hope the people who are having fun continue to have fun. And I hope the people who are not having fun start to have fun. But I don't blame neither party. I don't blame the people who are enjoying this offensive surge to be upset when 2K kind of brings the hammer down on the offense and stop playing. I won't be surprised if the people who like to play defense stop playing because they can't stop anything. Nothing will surprise me. But I will say there are things that need to be addressed. And until they are addressed, 2K will still be playing this dangerous game.